Dodge to the right and through. Dodge to the right. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. A few days ago, after many failed attempts.
Well, I'm dead. Yeah, that's the worst goblin RNG ever.
We finally took down the big boss Morg'Thog on our solo hunter with just junk default gear, a white bow, and without any cheese or glitches. Now, before I show you my boss fight, allow me to bestow some critical knowledge that I had to learn the hard way, through the snow, uphill, both ways, so you don't have to. I found the Crestwind Swiftbow was definitely the best weapon option, because it has the best non-headshot DPS and the best swiftness generation of all the options that you have. Any other Swiftbow could also get the job done, but they'll be somewhat slower, because they don't have the faster lock-on like the Crestwind does. And to make this as repeatable as possible, besides the cheapest Crestwind Swiftbow, I did this in just default junk starter gear. So that means I'm not getting any of the extra swiftness, especially not from the God-sent pants that we all know and love. Now, I also didn't have any food cooking in my pot, subtle flex. But some extra stamina foods could definitely help bail you out of a jam. So for my trap skill, I brought the Bramble Trap, but that's still mainly just for PvP. You don't really need traps during the boss fight, except maybe if you need to slow down some goblins and you're like panicking, it could help. For my swiftness skill, I use Sentinel Strike. It's also my go-to for PvP. You get an Insta Strike on every other Swiftbow shot, so the DPS increase is insane for the boss fight. It also allows you to do huge damage and stagger a whole group of goblins at once. So I relied heavily on it to get me through the goblin phases of the boss fight, especially after they added the cooldown to the Cyclone. I feel like as long as you master your dodges and your movement, which you should be doing anyway, that the Sentinel Strike is going to help you out the most in killing the boss the most efficiently. And for your grenade skill, the Poison Bomb, I think they call it the Spore Seed, is just, it's a must-take. Because you see, Morg'Thog starts with 50,000 HP. 50,000. And he passively heals at a rate of 5% of his max HP per minute. At least that's what I've heard. I haven't seen official stats on that, but it seems accurate. So that comes out to healing for 2,500 HP per minute, which is almost 42 HP per second. It's like 41.66. But if he's poisoned, that cuts his healing significantly. I believe it's in half. Plus, once he is poisoned, the effect lasts for a really long time. So you don't have to hit him that often to keep the poison effect going. So that means with some occasional poison bombs, I have the math here, you're effectively doing 1,250 damage per minute. And that's not even including the direct nature damage that you're dealing with the poison bombs themselves. I did a lot of runs with the Flying Seed Bomb to try to get that to work because it's my go-to option for PvP, so it helps to defend the boss loot afterwards. But even when I thought I was playing it perfectly, I was still on pace to not finish for like 25 minutes. I never actually ended up finishing it because I just ran out of time. Versus with the Poison Bomb, it's significantly faster. You'll see when you watch the fight. As a final plus, you'll get some extra swiftness whenever you hit him with the bomb. You don't have to shoot it like you would with the Flying Seed Bomb or stick it on the ground. You just lob it on him, and it's just instant swiftness. So that's going to help increase your rate of your Sentinel Strikes. The key is you just have to be careful not to splash yourself with that initial poison explosion. It's a pretty big sphere. But I have a solid strat for that I'll cover later when we go through Morg'Thog's attacks. So the weapon skill for the Swiftbow, I can't remember what it's called, but it's not that valuable against Morg'Thog himself, since you'll be wanting to save that mana for your poison bombs. The weapon skill and the poison bombs pull from the same mana or energy bar. But it can be super clutch against hordes of goblins if they're getting too close to you. It's really good crowd control to knock a bunch of them back at once and do a little bit of chip damage. So, enough about me. Let's get to the man of the hour. So your boss fight will consist of 3 phases, with each phase ending after 1/3 of Morg'Thog's HP is lost. So you'll know you've reached the end of phase 1 and phase 2 because the big guy will drop to his knees for a few moments, and lots of green poison clouds will appear around him. At the end of the 3rd phase, he just keels over. So during the 1st phase, I have only ever seen 5 different attacks. Look like I'm about to give you something to cry about. The first up is everyone's favorite, the Goblin Summon. Easily the most devastating card in the big guy's hand. If he digs his mitt into the ground and crushes the stone into a poison cloud, I need to get him away from this wall. There's no I'm right here, bruh! You can expect anywhere from 2 to something like 10 goblins to appear on the edges of the lair and immediately fulfill their destiny to grief you like their little goblin children's lives depend on it. My best strategy I found to deal with them is to kite them so they're all in a straight line, or at least in a sizable group, and then just continually send in sentinel strikes into them as you're shooting the big guy for swiftness. If you have a little distance, you could chuck a poison bomb into the group to soften them up. If they get too close and Morg'Thog isn't mid-attack, you can get off a tornado volley to push them away. You know, I'm talking about the Q ability on the Swiftbow. The most important thing is to not lose track of Morg'Thog's attacks, though. Just primarily focus on dodging and evading him, and then between the dodges, you can focus on the goblins. However, if you're within super close range to Morg'Thog, whenever his wee little brain decides which attack to use, he will never summon goblins except for once at the beginning of the final phase, and even that one might be able to be avoided with some more testing and some future strats. When I say super close, I mean you need to treat it like you're in a Mr. Beast video, and the last player to take their hand off of Morg'Thog's ass gets 1 billion mithril ore. So that's why the Swiftbow is the best bow for the boss fight, because in order to not get goblin spawns, you have to be so close to him that you can't even see his head most of the time. Let me know in the comments if you found a way to dodge that last wave of goblins, because at this point you'll see in the fight, I don't even try to stay close to him during that last transition, because I've tried it before and he still pulled the goblins and I got a bunch of poison from his clouds, and it just didn't seem worth it to me. So the next attack that he uses is what I call the Red Slam. He glows red during this because it's not blockable by melee classes, but obviously that doesn't matter to us hunters because we don't have any way to block. Now, contrary to the goblins, this attack is actually our favorite.
It's my favorite.
Because we need to avoid the Goblin Summons, whenever Morg'Thog is about to decide his attack, you want to be as close to him as possible. Well, to reliably hit him with poison grenades without splashing yourself every time with them, you need at least a little distance. Now, very conveniently, after the Red Slam, Morg'Thog goes into a slow recovery animation before he does another attack. Easy dodge, double belly bombs. Oh, one's on the hand, no worries. He can't find me, bad eyesight. Should have eaten your carrots. All the other goblins understand carrots. So that means after you dodge the initial slam by evading to the right, you can back up a little bit to safely throw your poison bombs at his head, and then still be back under his belly in time for dinner. You might be able to sneak in a poison bomb here or there after other attacks, but I've found it to be really risky and inconsistent and unreliable, since you might end up splashing yourself or getting too far away, and then he's going to sick the dogs on you. It's going to be a whole thing. So I just stick the poison bombs usually after the red slams. The extended downtime after the red slam is also the best time to pop a potion or bandage. I've died so many times trying to sneak in a bandage or potion after other attacks, because I got stuck in the healing animation and then couldn't evade in time. I just ate the club. Now I know you can technically avoid this attack without using an evade by just staying right under his belly, but since he never has a follow-up attack for this where I would need that extra stamina, I found it best to just treat myself to some iframes and play it safe. So another common attack during the first phase is a regular slam, so not a red one, just a regular one, into a horizontal sweep. So this slam is exactly the same as the red slam, so you just evade to the right, but then for the horizontal sweep, your easiest and most consistent move is just going to be to evade right between his thunder thighs. Trying to get the timing of the iframing through the club on the horizontal sweep is possible, but it's just never going to be as reliable as just going behind him. You'll see you can use this same strategy for every single horizontal attack in Morg'Thog's arsenal, so it's even better to just do this instead of worrying about mastering the separate timings of all the different sweeps. And then after you get behind him, you got to make sure you stay as close as possible to him as you move back in front of him so you don't get the run griefer 9000. Another first phase attack is going to be a left-handed punch. Now I've seen these occasionally follow up a horizontal sweep, but I'm pretty sure they can also be used randomly without any precedent. For the sweep follow-up variation, make sure you circle him clockwise after dodging through his legs, since the punch comes across his body from his left hand. If it's a lone random punch, you can evade in any direction as long as you get the iframe timing right. But if you want to be safer, you can just evade backwards to avoid the fist altogether. Just gotta make sure you quickly regroup and get close again before he makes another move. So the last attack that Morg'Thog will use in his first phase is his Scream. You'll know it's coming when he smacks his wiffle ball bat twice against the ground and then puts his hands in the air like he just don't care. I've seen a lot of people just tank the Scream, but it pushes you way back and snares you, so you probably aren't getting back to his belly in time for him to call his next play, and with your luck, that means you're getting goblins. Dodging the Scream is actually super easy though. You just have to evade a bit later than you'd think you would. Almost pretend like the Scream is a projectile that he's throwing at you out of his mouth, and then evade accordingly to that. Since dodge direction doesn't matter on this one, it's usually best to just dodge towards him and keep that close range strat. Now at the end of the first phase, after he drops to the ground and rips the biggest fart cloud that you've ever seen, Morg'Thog will do a series of unblockable stomp attacks that I call, and other players call, the Tantrum. You'll take some damage if you're anywhere near him and touching the ground when he hits it, so to avoid the damage, you can either time the jumps like I do here, or you can run very far away because the shockwave does have a limited range. Now the reason I choose to stay close and just jump is that when he finishes off his hissy fit, I need to be able to get right back into position before he does another attack so that I can avoid a Goblin Summon. You'll see the Tantrum again at the beginning of the third phase, and then he can potentially repeat it during the middle of the third phase as well. While you're jumping, this is a great opportunity to be just chucking poison bombs, setting in sentinel strikes, anything that you can just do instantly and doesn't require you to be pulling your bow back so then you have to try to time bunny hops with it instead of just normal jumps. Just throw poison and birds. Poison and birds, you know, as God intended. So in the second phase, you'll start to see a fast horizontal sweep, and it's pretty much just the second half of the slam and sweep attack. You'll have less of a reaction time window than with that combo, so you have to make sure that you're not falling asleep at the wheel. Same as before, the dodge for this one is just evading right between his legs, so you end up behind him. Another attack that gets added in the second phase is what I like to call the Wombo Combo. So he'll start galloping and then jump, and then do 2 horizontal sweeps in opposite directions, and then he'll follow that with a crossbody punch from his left hand. Now, as complex as this attack might sound, the dodge is once again just simply a single evade through the legs. He even makes it easier for you by jumping at precisely the time that you need to evade. So just sit behind him for the duration of the combo, and then if you have to, circle clockwise if he starts swiveling on you to make sure you don't take that punch. So after you get done with the second phase, and then you deal with the early third phase goblins and the Tantrum, you get 3 more final attacks added to the moveset that he gets to choose from. But none of them are actually that bad. First up is a slow horizontal sweep, which is exactly like the fast one, just super slow. This timing difference will definitely mess you up if you're relying on trying to dodge through the club like I did when I started. But if you just dodge through his legs, like we've been doing the whole time, there's literally no difference in strategy whatsoever. Next is a fast variation of the lone crossbody left-handed punch. It's a bit faster on the draw than the standard punch, and a little bit further reach. Other than having less of a reaction window than the other punch, it's pretty much the same, and can be dodged pretty intuitively in any direction you want. Just make sure you get back under him in time for his next move. So the last attack that gets added during the final phase is the Rock Throw. Just like the Goblin Summon, the Rock Throw only goes into the decision matrix if you aren't in super close range. So if you're playing it perfectly, you ideally should never see this attack. However, if you're like me, and you get a Goblin phase, during that, you might end up, I don't know, kiting a little bit away from the big stinker, and that gives him the opportunity to, rip the cave a new asshole and send it your way like he's trying to break the sound barrier. Now this is a lesson I only had to learn once, but you would too if I didn't tell you. You need to evade as it's leaving his hand. The first time I saw the attack, I thought, oh, I'll have some air time to react to this, no biggie, but it practically teleported from his hand to my skull. And that's just how it is. That's not a glitch, that's not lag, that's how fast it is. Well, gamers, that is my 4 days of lessons from failed attempts wrapped into a few minutes. So here's what it looks like when it's all put together and it finally pays off. Alright. Last run of the night. Let's make it a good one. Alright, he's gonna scream. Good start, good start. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. To the right. And through. Dodge the punch. Dodge the punch. the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. I don't think that doing tap fire is worth it. Oh, should I go through? Distracted myself. Because you don't get swiftness from it. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. Embrace the belch. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. To the right. And through. Dodge the punch. Back under the belly. To the right. And through. Dodge the punch. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Embrace the belch. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Poison myself this time. Dodge the punch. Oh, that's a phase. Embrace the opportunity to swap heals, just in case. Dodge the punches. Oh, didn't dodge the punch very well. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. I don't know if that was a good, I'm in poison, that's bad. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. I need to not get hit by poison anytime soon. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. Tactical nose scratch. Dodge the punch. To the right. And through. I think he's gonna gallop. And through. To the right. And through. Quick poison. Embrace the belch. To the right. 2 poisons this time. Dodge through. To the right. And through. He's galloping and through. I should have poisoned there. And through. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. To the right. And through. Dodge the punch. Quick poison. Embrace the belch. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 1 poison this time. In the poison cloud. Not good. Dodge through. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. And through. Quick poison, get back in front of him. To the right. And through. Oh, that was almost really bad. He swiveled. Oh, he's galloping. Gonna go through. Quick poison. Embrace the belch. Dodge through. Dodge the punch. To the right. And through. Gallop. Yeah. And through. I don't have a good angle. To the right. And through. And through. To the right. And through. To the right. And through. Maybe a quick poison. Dodge the punch. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Embrace the belch. Dodge the punch. Oh, that's a phase. It's goblin time. Maybe. Maybe. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 1 poison this time. Dodge through. Dodge through. To the right. And through. Oh my god, we almost stammed ourselves. Please don't swivel. And through. And through. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. And through. Embrace the belch. Quick poison to the dome. To the right. And through. What the fuck was that? I don't even know what just happened, bro. But I survived. Okay, he's doing Tantrum again. Alright, we gotta get back in front of him. Dodge the thing through. Dodge through. Dodge the punch. To the right. And through. Don't jinx it, boys. Don't jinx it. And through. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Poison myself. Very bad. Very bad. Embrace the belch. Hit a peel pot. And through. Dodge the punch. Dodge the punch. To the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Dodge the punch. I'm not gonna heal. To the right. And through. And through. Oh my god, that was so close. I was off the dome. Through. Oh my god. Dude, he's swiveling so much. How am I not dying? Alright, to the right. Take it back now, y'all. 2 poisons this time. Dodge the punch. Dodge the punch. Dodge to the right. And through. And through. Dodge the punch. To the right. And through. And through. Dodge the punch. Tantrum. Ah, shit. To the right. And through. Embrace the belch. To the right. And through. Oh my god, I did that one like very poorly, but I'm like nervous now. Holy shit, I'm like dodge the punch. Dodge through. Dodge the punch. Dodge to the right and through. Dodge to the right